Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, because those who don't matter, once more, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. By Dr. Seuss. And I'll do that again, just one more time. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who don't matter, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. And I think this is very fitting because today, before even starting my morning routine, I got messages from Elena who shared with me what is going on in her, within her, what is alive in her. And she was saying what she feels and what she thinks. And I noticed that I do mind in the way that it matches to me. And I don't mind that she does share these things with me. And so with that interlude, I want to go into how was my day yesterday. And I was working on the technical side of CoLegend for a while. I really liked that I did the rebranding now to have co as a prefix. And I had that initially, but then somewhere along the way, I changed it based on also feedback from Corinna. And I decided that I don't want that. I want to go back to, I have both versions now, but I prefer the co-prefix. So it's co-roles, co-legend, co-island, co-everything. And I really love that co is a prefix and not that co-legend is not one word for me, but it's like it's co-legend. And that is for me just a small difference in naming, but a big difference in meaning. So just like anti something or pro something, co something is what I'm trying to establish here. And so for me, the whole community is a co-community because we are conscious, connected, and complete. And what exactly these things mean, if you're interested, then talk to me. Anyway, so I did some fixes and added some features to the co-app. And then later on, I also spent time with the deployment of the iOS app for app version of the co-app. And that is because one of our newer members, Angel, he is an iOS user. And initially, I had mainly, or pretty much exclusively, because of one exception, who was willing to use the web app. I just had Android people, and I myself am also an Android user. I don't even have an iPhone, neither does does Corinna, so I didn't even have great opportunities of testing the code. That's why I didn't bother too much. But now I slowly also want to start to open up for the iPhone users. And that's why I spent time moving also the co-app in the direction of an iOS App Store app. And I created the app, I tested it in the simulator yesterday, and there are still some things that I find a bit weird, but I don't know if it's because of the simulator or if it's because of Ionic, and or what the true reason is. Either way, it did work, it didn't crash. Some things looked a little weird. And that's the next step for me to go into the direction. And when it comes to actually putting it in the Apple Store, that is something where I need a developer license, and that costs money. And I'm not sure when to start that because I cannot really test it up apart from the simulator. But maybe I will just get enough feedback from the other users that makes sense. So to continue, after also having spent time with the iOS development, I started. I went to the table tennis center here in Berlin and got myself new rubbers, and I tested them, and I was already looking forward to that part of the day, and I really like the new rubbers, and I'm really curious how I will play with these new table tennis rubbers, because that I will totally change my game that way. Because until now I was playing in a very defensive game with taking out the speed of the game, and now these rubbers are faster. So I will also experience a faster play, because I well, every shot that I do, I will get the return back faster because I cannot take out as much speed as I did before, which I end up having a different game. And I'm curious how I will like that. And it's, for me, this is more of a test. I put 2 completely new rubbers on my table tennis racket, which means that I will, in the next weeks, these are my test rubbers, experiment rubbers, and I will experiment with them for a time now, and then later on decide if I want to keep experimenting that way, or if I'll just pass on the rubbers to Corinna, who has a very fast-paced game, who would I know who would absolutely love the new rubbers because they are more her style of gameplay, and so I have a good backup plan here. And so what else did I do? After that, I had a session which was trying, together with Corinna, trying to update the co-role definitions. And essentially, what I really ended up doing was trying to delete roles to declutter them so I have less roles to define and take care of. And also something that I did yesterday is I spent a bit of time whenever I ran into these things to change co-legend content from co-legend one word to co-legend, small C-O, and then a capital L. And I also want to spend time updating the logo, but this is not the main thing for me right now, but it's still a task that, especially if I'm frustrated, I'm running into frustrations when it comes to the technical side, I can just eject and take a pause and do some graphical tasks and change my role. So I really like this idea of being able to change and flip my roles. What am I going to focus on for today? Oh yeah, just an announcement if you're not aware of it. The habits mastery is now improved. So you will probably see something there. You can now really master them. What do I want to continue talking here? Oh yeah, what will I be focusing on for today? And the answer is it's the same thing as yesterday. For yesterday, I had clear co-legend roles and co-legend concept documentation. And it's the same thing. It's for today, co-legend roles, concept documentation. The roles, I want to just go over the definition as a big part of my concept right now. But I also want to add, I think there's multiple things. One is the writing of a product and services list to be aware of the many different things that I'm trying to offer, and also starting to like, what is another thing that I started is the funnel of how to interact with people to get them onboarded. So many things that I want to do when it comes to the concept, first writing down what the strategy is, what I want to do, what outcomes I want to have. And I'm doing this with visual thinking sessions. So the documentation for me are these visual sessions. And that's what I will be spending my time on today. And I will also be attending the co-legend tactical, which is exactly time to take a look at what are the things that are due next and what would happen since last time. If you want to join in these things or just take a look at them or talk to me, if you have any feedback for me, I'd love to hear it. I'm a big fan of feedback, and I wish you a legendary day. I won't share a joke of the day today. And yeah, wish you a legendary day, and I hope to see you soon.